Welcome back. Democrats in disarray. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi delaying the infrastructure vote last night again, apparently hopeful it will happen today. That's because progressives will not bend. They ramped up their battle with moderates like Senator Joe Manchin over the massive reconciliation package. And we are talking about that this morning with New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. She is also a member of the Foreign Affairs and Small Business Committees. Congresswoman, it's always great to see you. Thanks very much for being here. So I guess my first question is, the Democrats have an opportunity to change their mind, right? They can go back to the drawing board and they could give up on the reconciliation and they could change the reconciliation bill to something to lift the debt limit, but they're not doing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, right now, AOC is actually demanding that, obviously, the infrastructure bill and the reconciliation bill have to go together over, what is it, $5.5 trillion. It's actually even more than that over time. But right now, they could always go back to the drawing board. They could actually work with Republicans. Can you imagine that? And come up with a deal in the House that maybe some of the, we know that some of the Republicans, unfortunately, in my opinion, are sort of cynically taking this calculation that if they vote for infrastructure, that they don't have to, that the reconciliation is not going to happen. But I would hate to see us helping them with this because this bill is a monstrosity. Both bills, even the infrastructure bill, is really only a small percentage really dealing with infrastructure as we understand it in the true sense. So I'm really concerned about the fact that we don't go back to the drawing board. And I think an important point is, this is the power game. We're in a blood sport. And I think Republicans need to recognize that not only is all this money and all this spending and all these taxes included in this, there's also language has a subversive tone to it that's shifting all the balance of power back to the executive branch and giving them the discretion to make decisions that we're taking away from ourselves. So I think that's just a huge aspect of this that a lot of Republicans aren't seeing or aren't willing to stand strong on and vote no on both of these bills.
So Joe Manchin called the $3.5 trillion plan fiscal insanity. What are the chances, Claudia, that nothing gets done in this economic agenda?
Well, I hope that nothing gets done on this economic agenda because just listening to you talking about where we are in a new quarter and what's going to happen if any of these things pass, we're going to go back to where we were before the Trump era policies, where we actually cut taxes, which is really important for small business owners, really important for individuals. And the Democrats actually, AOC, Bernie Sanders, they don't think this is enough, and they don't understand the impact this is going to have on our economy, encouraging a welfare state, shifting the balance of power. And remember, it's interesting about all of this bill that we need to understand. It all originated in the Senate with Bernie Sanders, a self-proclaimed socialist communist who's for authoritarianism. And actually, all appropriations bills should rightly originate in the House of Representatives under our Constitution. So this is a complete disruption of our system intentionally. And that's why you're seeing, this massive amount of stuff just being thrown in and Republicans being in a disarray too. But the Democrats, thankfully, some of them are going to hold out on this and not vote for it in the Senate. And it all comes down to Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, these so-called moderates. And I might add, there aren't any moderates left in the Democratic Party right now. Even if they were to vote on a modified version of this bill, it's still putting in authoritarianism, communism, a welfare type state and huge taxes, the highest tax increase in our nation's history.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's extraordinary to me that they are pushing all of this spending forth, even as we have a crisis unfolding at the border. Nearly 30,000 Haitian migrants have already crossed the U.S. in the last couple of weeks, but that's just the beginning. We now hear from the foreign minister of Panama telling Axios that 85,000 Haitians have crossed through the country since the beginning of the year, and she thinks that they are headed to the United States. You also had Mayorkas say this month we're going to see 400,000 apprehensions. Look at the Del Rio, Texas bridge back on September 16th when you had, and this is just one bridge, Congresswoman. I mean, are they finally going to acknowledge that we've got a crisis at the border? There was nothing in infrastructure about building a wall, was there?
No, nothing. And this is a major crisis. I don't think people even understand it. Thankfully, some media outlets are covering it, but if people could only see what's happening on the border, and I haven't even been to see the latest crisis with a lot of the Haitian immigration coming in, illegal immigration coming in. But look, there's a lot of other issues. We have vaccine mandates now that are causing layoffs across the nation, across my district, where we have healthcare workers who were once heroes. They were heroes last year. They're now fired. And now we're going to see not only a pandemic, but we're going to see a healthcare crisis where we are not going to be able to get healthcare because healthcare workers aren't going to be able to go to work. They've been eliminated from their jobs. So now we have this. Now the disease is coming across the border. We're still kind of dealing with this Afghanistan mess. It's going to unfold for a long time. Now we're reaching the crisis where we're going to lose our credibility in the Middle East and all the good work that was done there, and Middle Asia, where we have no forward basing. There's just a crisis everywhere, which is why I really feel we need to pursue this as Republicans much more aggressively.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've been saying that now is not the time to put these mandates in place where people are going to get fired and lose their job. We're already looking at companies struggling to get people in the jobs. And by the way, one last thought. So they're telling us that we're still in a pandemic. We're supposed to be masked up and have mandates for a vaccine, and yet they're allowing nurses to walk off the job. I'm not buying it. Congresswoman, it's always good to see you. Thanks very much. Claudia Tenney, thank you so much.